and we'll save it. Let's do a pull now and see what this is going to look like. We've, again, added 10%. We should see it's much closer. It might be adding 3%, 5%. Let's take a look. So we'll go here and hit record. Put it in gear, and let's give this a shot. Let's go ahead here and pause it. Now, we have to speed up the control. Down low here, it's adding way too much. It's actually making it rich. And then up top here, it's working pretty well. Let's go to playback here. Let's play this back and take a look. Now, looking up at the dyno screen, it made exactly the same power. Now, that's to be expected because the air fuel is pretty much the same, and we haven't changed anything with our spark timing, so that's all to be expected. Let's go to channels here. Let's go clear them out again. Let's clear out our list. We're going to go here and select our wideband. We're going to be selecting engine RPM, knock level display, and then finally down here, O2 correction. Click OK. We can see we actually got some kind of activity here on the knock level display. We'll look at that. Let's pay attention to our fuel tuning. So we can see down at the bottom here, it was adding 10%, and we can see that right here, it's showing us it was at 11.3 air fuel. It's way too rich. But as we get up to the higher RPM, about 4,000 and above, they're pretty much on point. We can see it's adding about 5% on the top of the table here, and at the very top end it starts to take some out. So looks like we need to add some, kind of panning through where it starts to go up here and starts to add from about 55 to about 65. Go here and add 5%. And then we see on the top end of the table again, it's starting to take some out or barely do anything here. Let's just kind of get ahead of the curve here and pull a little bit of fuel out right there. We'll do right there, we'll take out 2%. We can kind of see it taking shape. Now, one thing to note about kind of looking on at the table here, we see you have two distinctive humps. If we look at the dyno graph, we're going to see the same two kind of humps and a dip. We have our volumetric efficiency representing our torque curves. These two are going to be looking the same. That's kind of one way to checks and balances as you're doing your fuel tuning. You're going to be seeing what this looks like. Now, if you don't have a dyno available and you're mapping everything out and you see that you have peaks and valleys, this will look like your torque curve. So that's another way to kind of get a visual representation of what's going on with the engine and the cylinder filling, and expect that your torque curve plotted on a dyno is going to look the same way. So let's jump in here, looking at the bottom end of the table. We can see we're simply adding too much. We don't need it to be adding down this much fuel here. Let's just take out 5% right here, and let's go to close playback. I'm going to jump down in here to the calculation rate and try to speed this up. So at the lower RPM here, let's go speed this calculation rate up. Let's go here to 20.